So I received a text this morning from a woman who was asking me for her own benefit and for her son what to do when we experience intense anger or even rage. Specifically, she was inquiring about whether it was appropriate or right or healthy to launch that anger heavenward, to tell God just how angry we are with Him or the situation or with others. And got me thinking because I believe that God cares deeply about our passions and our pursuits. He cares about our fears and our feelings, our frustrations. In fact, the Apostle Peter says that we can cast our cares on God because He cares for us. And that word cast is not just a little toss, it's a heave. And I do believe that we can heave our emotions on God. I believe God has broad shoulders and He's not easily offended or intimidated by our anger. Now, it probably doesn't impact Him the way it does us, but I suspect that He wants us to be authentic without being disrespectful. When Job was hard hit by life and all of his children wiped out, his wealth, his cattle, his servants, his immediate response was to worship God, to say the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. His wife's response was just curse God and die. And I believe when it comes to cursing God, we do wrong to give ourselves permission to speak to Him in a way that is that's really disrespectful or rude. I think that with my children, I want them to tell me when they're angry with me and to give me the full extent of their anger, but to do it in a respectful way. The Bible talks about speaking the truth in love, and I do think that we can be truthful with God, and we can even be rough. I think if you're in a really hard pressed situation and you've held back with God, you've never really been authentic. I know of a number of people who have found great solace by just letting it all out and being completely honest with God. And if you're in that dark night of the soul where you need to have a toe-to-toe with Jesus, to wrestle with Him like Jacob did through the night, wrestling with the angel, I think that that's potentially exactly what needs to happen. For me, I look to the Psalms because David was a man after God's own heart. And you'll see if you read the Psalms that he expressed the full range of human emotion, from despair to frustration to fear, and even rage. There's one Psalm, I think it's 137, where David invites God or implores God to take the heads of his enemies' children and bash them on the rocks. Pretty nasty. It's a pretty extreme sense of anger with God and with the situation. Fortunately, God doesn't answer all of our prayers, and so He's probably not going to strike someone with leprosy or lightning if we ask Him to. But we can let Him know the full extent of our passion. And so I just invite you today to take a look at where you are in your intimate connection with God. One way to think about intimacy is intimacy. Are you inviting God into that deep place in your heart and soul? That place where you are fully engaged and fully connected with your own fears and feelings, and also with your faith that He loves you, that He is there for you, and that He cares enough to listen when you cry out to Him. So whatever's happening in your world today, I pray that you'll engage God, invite Him into your sweet moments and into those moments of sorrow. Whatever you're experiencing, take it to Him. He is the lover of your soul. And I love you. Bye.